welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about The Last Secret You'll Ever Keep. It's book 2 in the Jane Anonymous series. We loved the first one, so of course we're going to read the second one. This is by Lauria Faria Stolarz. Is that how you pronounce it? Lauria Faria Stolarz. And so this one takes place in the same world as Jane Anonymous. You don't really need to have that book in order to understand this book. They're two very kind of different creatures. This is about Tara, who was kidnapped for 4 days and put in a well, kind of buried in a well. There was kind of some violence against her. It's really, to me, it was very kind of convoluted to know like what the violence was, but there's a violence committed against her. She was put in a well, and she kind of fought her way out and was able to escape after 4 days. She shows up at her aunt's house all, dirty and muddy. And as they start investigating, people actually question whether or not anything really happened to her, because she has a history of disappearing, cutting classes, being mentally unstable. When she was a child, well, she was an early teen. When she was an early teen, her parents died in a house fire that she was in. She actually got out and escaped, but her parents died in that same fire, and so there's kind of this guilt that she should have saved them. And so along with that, there's PTSD and different kind of mental challenges that come along with that. And so the belief is that her past is coloring her future, and that she believes that she was taken for 4 days when she probably wasn't, and nobody believes her. And this is really hard, so she seeks kind of comfort from others on the Jane Anonymous website that has a chat room. So she's talking with others who have experienced kind of being violently attacked against. Really, I mean, like, right? It's just like violent attacks against them. And so her one friend on the Jane Anonymous website starts seeing clues and seeing different things that her attacker might be back. And so when she disappears from the chat room, Tara becomes more unhinged and wants to figure out like what's going on with her friend, her chat room friend.
So I had a hard time with this book. I usually love this author's books, but I couldn't. I didn't
like unreliable narrator. I'm like I really can never get into the unreliable narrator. It just makes you not like the book as much. I don't know if you feel that way, but like I feel like that's what set it up.
No, I'm usually okay with an unreliable narrator. I just didn't like her as a narrator. And I'm like, and you're going back and forth between then and now, but you're never really, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay if it takes me 200 pages to find out the whole entire backstory. I know you don't like that, but I'm cool with that. But you never got the backstory.
Yeah, not really. Well, I think I need something, I guess I needed someone objective to like tell me what, like, I still, like, I'm at the end of the book and I still don't know if I believe if any of it happened.
Well, and then I didn't particularly like Tara. And when it comes out, like, the idea of what might have happened to her, because like you said, you're not 100% sure, but if what's presented in the book is what happened to her, it felt like it came out of nowhere.
Well, I think what was hard to like vibe with is her parents, because this was earlier in the book, her parents kind of ingrained in her these like, don't go out alone at night in the dark, or have your keys out, like, so that you can use them to like jab a whatever. So like all of these different like safety protocols that they went through. And so to have her not use any of these protocols multiple times throughout the book is just weird to me.
Right. And I guess I'll have to mark the spoiler, but like she had all these rules, and then she like walks home by herself in the dark, and she did call somebody, and like that's something I've done when you're walking by yourself somewhere.
But she didn't stay on the phone with them.
No, she stayed on the phone with him the whole walk.
Oh, okay.
But they had keys outside. Like, they have all of these rules and these like carefully like safety things, and then they left like a key on the front porch. Why even bother locking your door?
Right, like it doesn't make sense. So then to have those two kind of dueling, fighting, like opposing ideas, it makes me even more apt to believe that this is all in her head and not none of this happened.
See, and I didn't think that at all until you said that. Well, then, like, they introduced this boy who's kind of a love interest, kind of not a love interest, but he's like the only one that believes her, so maybe he was fake. I don't know.
Right,
But
I really thought he was fake because like there was no development there. It was like they talked briefly and then he became like super invested in her life and was spending all of his time kind of helping her figure out the clues, and it just like it was unbelievable. But the thing is, like the thing out of all of it is I like this author's writing style. So even though the plot and the character didn't work for me, like the book read fine for me because I like the way this author writes.
so, and I just feel like this was so different than her other books, like the actual writing. I couldn't get into it, and I don't know Tara. I don't know anything about Tara.
Well, I don't know what to believe about Tara,
I don't care.
especially because you know that she's been um committed several times throughout her life. So like what led to that? Like what's the backstory there? Like why, you know, she's going to this school that was for those dealing with mental challenges. Like, you know, what led to that? Like what are the background pieces and parts of what makes Tara Tara?
I just couldn't get into it no matter what I tried. I really didn't have much to say because it really didn't leave that much of an impression on me. I was just really disappointed.
I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, I wasn't as disappointed as you, but it was definitely not like one of my favorites. I think we just have to rate it because, like, honestly, I don't really have much more to say about it. Like, because unreliable narrators just make me not believe everything. So, okay, our rating scale goes from 5 unicorns down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it doesn't get a horn and is therefore a horse. So, where are you?
I'm at a 2, and I'm only at a 2 because the author is a good writer.
See, and I'm at a 3, and I'm trying to figure out like why I want to give it that high of a rating. Because it moved quickly for me. I liked the author's style. I don't necessarily know if and I liked some of the side characters. I feel like I almost the way that I'm talking about this, I have to give it a 2 just because I can't describe why I would give it a 3.
It's up
So I
to
think
you.
I also have to give it a 2. Unfortunate.
So that is where we are on The Last Secret You'll Ever Keep, and we'll see you around. Bye.